Such beautiful music. That's a fact. And make sure my volume's good. I think you guys will be able to hear me loud and clear, hopefully. And make sure I'm recording. Awesome. Yeah, we can turn the volume down, because I'm just gonna actually say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. This is not a walkthrough. Guys, I finished the game yesterday, so... Or was it this morning? I think it was yesterday, yeah. Well, anyway, this is not a walkthrough because we finished the game. This is actually the verdict video. And Memoir Blue verdict video, which you will be called as such. So, we are definitely not coming back to this game because we finished it. I think it's pretty obvious we finished it. So, as I always like to say, I pretty much talk about the positive and the negatives of a video game that I just finished. That's including DLC too, so Horizon Zero Dawn. Anyway, I really thought hard on this one because I really wanted to give a Memoir Blue an 8 out of 10 because I know what my negatives were. Let's just say negative, singular. But after I played it, finished it, and just had a really thought about it, and had a good night's sleep just thinking about it too, you know, it might surprise you. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. You guys might disagree with me. This is the type of game that I can't recommend to anybody because it's not really a video game. It's an animated sort presented in a video game, or it's an animated sort in a video game. An interactive poem, from what I read on the Wikipedia about Memoir Blue, is pretty accurate. Yeah, so I am actually glad to give this a 9 out of 10. Because I know this won't be anybody's cup of tea, but it's my cup of tea, and that's all that matters. Alright, so... like I mentioned briefly in the second video for Memoir Blue, yeah, the puzzle mechanics is a double-edged sword. And it's unfortunately on the negative side, but it's like a minor nitpick, which I think the developers did it on purpose. Cloisters and Annapurna working together. The negative in terms of the puzzle is it's the fact that it's just simplistic. It's easy to solve, but it's nothing complex. Nothing like the pedestrian, where it was actually clever, or Portal. Because when I go into a game that's going to have puzzle mechanics, I want it to be very complex, insightful, or makes me go, ah! And Memoir Blue didn't actually have a puzzle that made me go, ah. It was more of like, huh, okay, well, that was neat. And that's how I felt in terms of the puzzle mechanics. I don't think they did well. I think they're just there to service the story, which is actually pretty great. Yeah, its puzzle mechanics are just too simplistic, and there's nothing like gratifying when solving the puzzle for a Memoir Blue. It's there to absolutely service the story, and that's all it's there for. So if you're coming here in terms of the puzzles for Memoir Blue, after looking at the trailer, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fill your puzzle bread and butter. That's the best way I can say that. That's the only negative I have on this game. Pleasantly shocked. Now, positive. The story is an intimate, personal, emotional gut punch that delivers from the beginning to the end. Annapurna and Cloisters know what type of story they want to do. I read a little bit of this on Wikipedia. It's about family love, and just like a thank you letter to someone's mother based on the personal experience of one of the developers, and it shows. It just feels like, again, an intimate, emotional, powerful, very emotional gut punch by the end. It really, the story in terms of just with the puzzles, but just the story itself, it's just done extremely well. That I actually recommend just playing it once, because it does give you a good feeling from the end. It's a strong start because of all the narrative themes of family love, of forgiveness, and just moving forward. I think it did extremely well with it showed but didn't tell. having the characters not actually talk because they were in the underwater, just in underwater in general, that was actually a brilliant narrative storytelling. And I like the underwater storytelling, and I like that no of the characters had voice actors. I think it worked extremely well for that. So yeah, very much kudos to the narrative. I hope Cloisters does more narratives like this or animated shorts. I do not mind. Interactive Puzzle is pretty accurate on that. So yeah, I clearly like the story, even though I didn't commentary as much. The story, it hit me. It really did. It was really good. Good. It was really excellent. That's part of the reason why I got a 9 out of 10. Another reason, and this is going to be a short walkthrough, or a short verdict. I'm actually proud of myself. Another thing that was positively, it's just a great positive, was the music. Let's just get that out of the back. From the opening song, which I hope if there was an Oscar for Best Original Song, this is one of them. I am there. I know I mispronounced the title. I probably butchered it, but do not care. That was the best opening song I have heard in a game in a long while, and it just doesn't let up. From the vocal music, from who I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the artist, vocal artist that they got, brilliant choice to get her. But from the actual original video game soundtrack, like this, it's just beautiful throughout the whole thing. It works from a narrative standpoint, and it works on a video game music standpoint. Obviously a video game music enthusiast, and this is kind of one of the highlights. I downloaded this on Spotify because the music is just really well done. It rivals Chia's music, but it's not there, but it's very pretty damn close. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think these guys, for the musical artists, I think they should get more work. Give them more work. I think their music's fantastic. It was one of the highlights. Every time we went to a narrative level or just the next level, their music kept me going because it was so good. Along with the great story too, that had a very solid ending. Another positive. Damn, this will be a short verdict. Even though I say it was a double-edged sword, I think the puzzle mechanics, when it focused on the narrative, when we were just wiping away like a screen, or just using the water mechanics in terms of the last level, or just showing but not, or they were showing it but not telling us. I think in terms of the puzzle mechanics when it was used in the story was effectively well done. Especially shows in the very close to the final level and when they're on the train. That's another positive. I think it really does enhance the narrative interactive poem aspect when the gameplay focused specifically on the narrative and not try to be a puzzle. I think that was one of the positives. So, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. And the final one. Should I say the ending was pretty solid too? And it just really, even though it ended on a cliffhanger when she clearly got a call from her mom or maybe some relative, yeah, I think the ending was really well done. I don't know what is up with me playing some games with really solid endings. But this is another one that I particularly like the ending too. Even though it ended on the cliffhanger, I think it ended the way it should have for this type of story. Now, the last positive, and it's a no-brainer, the visuals. The brilliant, seamless transition from the 2D art style to the 3D art style. When it's 3D, it's muted and just kind of like she's not really whole, and you could tell that she's not really full, and because of she doesn't have her mother around. I think the muted, subdued color palette of the 3D and then the cute, adorable 2D that looks like something from an animated Pixar film is fantastically done. And then just the way that it blends both of them at the end is just fantastic. It's just well done. I kind of want more games to take that approach to 2D art style especially. I think Chris Tales does that art style a lot. I think they do it a whole lot. But it really worked for this game. I just thought I was watching a movie, an animated Pixar film, you know, the animated Pixar short that they play before they play the Disney movie proper. You guys already know. If you've been at that, or if you grew up in that time, or still growing up at that time, you freaking know. yeah, it was just haunting of how well done it was. Clearly, Annapurna Cloister took all the research and they put all the budget in that, and it really, really made the game as a whole fantastic. So yeah, I don't regret giving this a 9 out of 10. Come at me, bros. This was a kind of a 9 out of 10. I know it doesn't have a lot of replayability. It's not, again, it's not, it won't be your cup of tea. But yeah, deal with it. I think it was definitely worth a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's worth the $8 getting on PlayStation Plus, but I think it's worth just checking out. And you can even watch a YouTube video of it too, easily, and it's just an hour. It won't even take you long. So, that's my official verdict of a Memoir Blue. You can love it or hate it. Please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And later on, we're going to do a quick review of Abzu. That's going to be the next on the agenda. And then also, because there are really two games on April PlayStation Plus that are leaving that I actually give a crap and I want to finish. So that's what's going to be the focus from Monday through Thursday. So really, playing and finishing Too Dark is going to be the main focus, and 101. Was it 101 Remastered? Yeah, that's another one I'm going to be focusing on the next few weeks before they leave PlayStation Plus. Then we'll go back to Elden Ring, and then Horizon Zero Dawn, and Marvel Spider-Man, depending on the schedule. So, of course, I can't say stay tuned. I would say, of course, have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I know I did something different. And have a wonderful day.